Rise, grind, shine, peace and blessings. You're now listening to Curtis Rice, Airborne Royal 86. Look, I got a crazy headache right now. Operating off 5.5 hours of sleep. Still keeping the day rolling. But other than that, making the best out of it. Either way. Them earbuds, the ones that you wear when it's a lot of noise for construction or something like that, I put them in the other night. And I promise you, I had the best sleep ever. If you're having trouble sleeping, go for it. Honestly, I've been having trouble sleeping for a long time. That's what helped me. So do what you want to do with that. I got into The Daily Laws by Robert Greene, and I'm also looking into The Practice by Seth Godin. Solid book so far. I'm going to share the keys that stood out. The practice is not the means to the output. The practice is the output, because the practice is all you can control. It's worth reminding yourself that the question is not, can I make art? Because you already have. The real question is, do I care enough to do it again? Solid. Anyway, moving on. Working on my daily routine. Rebuilding my daily routine, that is. I was waking up at 3 o'clock. I was waking up at 3:30, 4 o'clock, 4:30, 5 o'clock, 5:30. Just seeing what works for me. I enjoy waking up early in the morning simply because, now it hasn't been working lately. I've been fighting the snooze button. The snooze button has been winning lately. Waking up in the morning gives me time to really lock in and focus because there's no interruptions whatsoever. Getting up early it's a discipline that you constantly got to work on, simply because, especially if you're not used to it. And I also enjoy working out earlier in the morning too. You would think that working out early in the morning would drain you, but getting up and knocking that out first gives me energy. That just works for me. Now, I will say, if I work out late at night, I guarantee you I'm not waking up 5 o'clock in the morning. It's one of the best decisions to get up and go ahead and get it out the way before your phone start ringing, before people start hitting you up with everything that's going on with them. This way, you already got your self-investment in. You already got your investment of self already taken care of by taking care of your body. So once I can stop hitting the snooze button, I'm already ahead of the game. Because when I lay back down, I end up having them dreams that I was already up. And I'm thinking I'm knocking it out in my dream. I done worked out. I done drank my water. I done done everything I needed to do before everybody woke up. And then I wake up. And I'm kicking myself because I'm like, I really thought I was up this whole time. But I didn't hit that snooze so many times to the point where it's like I didn't just gave in to it. But I can't keep doing that. You can disable your snooze button. So that means you have no choice but to get up and get with it. And I'm going to start using it first. I haven't been utilizing that to the fullest. So I'll let you know how that turns out. There's no excuses whatsoever. I've had the most progress having my morning schedule under control. It's lonely. No lie. It's lonely, but it's worth it. But it's something you got to keep up yourself. The moment you slack on it, the moment you slip on it, you got to start all over again. I'm not a fan of starting over. Starting over is crucial when it comes to it, especially when it comes to working out. When you work out and you on a roll and you keep on going, and if for some reason you stop, whether it be for life reasons, because you know life keeps lifing, for whatever reason that you end up stopping and have to start over, it's something about it that it don't sit well with me when I got to start over. You go through the process of pain, working out, and you unleashing, you're unlocking your muscles, you're unlocking these new muscles you never knew you had, and then you stop. You can't complain about the pain then, because then when you start over, you hurting all over again, you breaking yourself all over again. But it's one thing about going through that whole process and coming out on the other side. It's like, I'm glad I did that. I'm glad I stuck to it, and now I got something to show for it. Not just the muscle part, all of that, but it's the fact that you stayed down, you went through the process, and now you up. When you first get up in the morning, knock out your important task first. Don't put it off. Don't ignore it at all, because it happens every single time. When that phone rings, there will be distractions. I'm only speaking from experience. You never know how your actions make other people feel unless you really pay attention. Like, you can be working out, and then you have those who don't work out trying to give you workout advice, trying to get you off track so you can be on their page, and that's never good. You can be eating clean, and it's always a person telling you how they ate 5 pounds of chitlins and they okay, they good, or they ate a whole slab of ribs and nothing's wrong with them. But I'm not saying if you do this one way, everything is going to be all right. You do this that way, everything won't. None of that matters at the end of the day. It just depends on what you're trying to do for you. But whatever your goal is, try not to let nobody talk you out of your goal, because that's the next thing. It can be your loved ones, it can be your friends, it can be whoever the case is. Definitely don't let social media talk you out of it, because when it comes to these foods, I'd rather not go online, because the moment you get your flow together with your food and you thinking you're really doing something, it's always these long tutorial videos that's telling you everything you eating is not what you're supposed to be eating. They telling you how watermelon is not good. They telling you how the water is bad. And I'm glad I did see the water video, because I never knew growing up that there were certain things in waters that were in water. Like, I didn't realize that. I thought water was water. I didn't think to look at the nutrition facts and see the ingredients. There's things in water that's not water. So it opened my eyes to pay attention to what I was actually consuming. When I come across these videos that pretty much knocks everything out of the box that I'm eating, that I think I'm doing great with, it's like, you know what? Makes you not even want to eat anything anymore. I don't know, for a second I really thought about going back vegetarian, but certain vegetarian foods that I was eating had a lot of sodium in it, had a lot of soy. I don't rock with that. But I recently saw something on eggs that just really threw me off. All it's going to take is for me to watch one of these documentaries, Food Inc., or one of these documentaries, and it's really going to turn me off of food altogether. It's information. Information is endless. Eating clean, that's the main thing. Keeping a consistent workout schedule, keeping a consistent creative schedule. Because when I'm creative, the more creative I am, I can honestly say I have fun. I'm laughing more. I enjoy being around people, the more creative that I am. Once I get my creative things complete, that is. When I'm not creative, when I'm unable to get my creativity out, I'm not the best person to be around. Creativity fuels something else that's necessary. Like, it's a must. Never got a kick out of being in a room full of people creating. That's not my thing. I don't thrive off of people being in the room and, oh yeah, I like when you do that, or no, don't do that. Being creative helps. That helps me. That's my therapy, being creative. I'm not doing this from a place of expecting everybody to hear what I'm saying. My kids are online more than anything else now. But one thing about it, as a parent, you can't control any and everything that your kid sees, because it makes them more curious when you try to control it, when you try to contain it. They're going to find out information some other way. I'm learning as I go. I'm still learning. There's no guide to this. There's no handbook on what to do and what not to do. It's only what you've seen growing up, or it's only what others are doing with theirs. So I put the blinders on when it comes to certain things. How I communicate with my kids is one thing, and they're learning from me and I'm learning from them as well. They ask me a lot of questions all the time. They ask me question after question after question. My baby boy, Dad, what's your favorite this? What's your favorite that? What's your favorite food? What's your favorite movie? What's your all the time. I'm up going through a lot of my favorite videos. I play Bone Thugs and Harmony, Thuggish Ruggish Bone. They thought Bone Thugs and Harmony was a British group. My nephew was like, are they speaking Spanish? I'm like, come on now. Don't do that. Don't do that. Y'all know what they saying. They didn't know what they were saying, but I'm like, y'all know what they saying. But that's the main thing, though. Being a fan of art is a great thing. Whether it's music, whether it's whatever culture you into. The shoe culture is amazing. I never realized how deep that ran, but that's a whole nother thing to get into. Like, you got shoe culture, you got car cultures, but when it comes to music, when it comes to art in general, being able to say, I like this. This is official. This is great. Like, I love this. I love how this sounds. This is my favorite artist. This is my favorite song. I never been ashamed of being a fan of art. I never been ashamed of being a fan of music. When it comes to certain artists, it's sad when they're unable to speak on what they actually like, because they don't want to feel like they being a groupie or something like that. If that's what you're really on, you're gonna hear about it. But come on now, like, if you like something, it's not gonna hurt. Don't wait until it's the thing to talk about to all of a sudden jump in on that bandwagon and be like, oh, I like that too. It's like, nah, whether I'm the only person that likes something, I like it. That's what I'm listening to. That's what I'm rocking to. Each day is something different. I might not work out to the same music. I might not, like, it's a different thing. Like the consistency of certain artists is what I appreciate so much. And I'm gonna get into that. I'm definitely getting into that as well. But as far as me staying on topic now, before I go too left off into everything else, because I'm definitely getting into who my favorite artists are. I'm definitely getting into whose consistency that I respect. However, for myself, when it comes to this routine, the part that really stood out was the part that said, the real question is, do I care enough to do it again? Doing something over and over and over, it can become real boring. Eating the same foods can become boring. Doing the same workouts can become boring. Going to the studio all the time, to a person who's looking at it from a different lens. If I keep doing this, I'm expecting something. It's one thing. But enjoying the process, enjoying the journey, I'm learning that means so much more than getting to an outcome. Remind you, the last book that I was talking about the process. This current book, The Practice, is talking about just that, the practice. Practice is something that I was doing and didn't even realize that I was doing. It's all about becoming better, sharpening your tools, perfecting your craft, not perfecting your craft to the point where you're not doing anything until it's perfect, or you're not sharing it until it's perfect. Now, remind you, sharing it's not a foreign concept to me, but sharing is something that's also a practice, because as a creative, getting in your head about every little thing that you do and you don't put it out, you never know what it would have been. Don't leave all your ideas and your concepts on your hard drive just to turn around and be pissed off when somebody come out with a song 20 years later that you probably still got on your hard drive that you didn't put out. I hear it all the time. Every time a song comes out, it's man, it's my idea, man. I had that idea 30 years ago. So what? They came out with it and went up with it. Can't sit here and just hold on to everything forever. I ain't got forever to do that, man. Ma'am, whoever. Put it out. I got music that I didn't put out, but I put out more music than I held on to. As far as practice, enjoying it the best way that you can, you got to grow to enjoy certain things. Not saying that every practice is going to be the best. You're going to have some good practices. You're going to have some practices where it's like, man, but it's something to look forward to. Understand that no is a superpower. Saying no until you finish what you need to finish. Everything else can wait. And it's as simple as that. Don't wait and expect somebody to understand just because you tell them what you're doing that they not going to call. You can tell a person you're getting ready to work out and they will blow your phone up until you answer the phone and ask what you're doing. I just told you I'm working out. Keep doing what you're doing. Them distractions going to come. When you working on your greatness and you working on yourself and you building yourself, whether it be confidence, whether it be your mind, whatever it is, there's always going to be distractions.